Hello there. So today's topic is struggling to stay connected inside yourself while connecting with another, or struggling to stay balanced inside yourself while connecting with another. And I am, as you know, just going to share this in my group. Sorry, this takes a minute. It always takes things time to load, which is, I don't know, seems like something I find myself waiting for often. Okay, here we go. Getting close. Okay, great. Thank you for bearing with me. So, amazingly or interestingly, I had a dream last night that I was in some kitchen somewhere, some like commercial kitchen. And this guy came in who was a guest at whatever event we were generally at. And he was someone who has been dancing tango for a very long time. I love dancing Argentine tango socially. Haven't done it so much since we all got locked down 2020. And I know things are different now, but things are different in my life too. Anyway, whatever. So he was an avid tango dancer. And he mentioned to me that he has this problem when he dances tango, is that energetically he feels like he bumps up against his partner's energy, and it makes it uncomfortable for him to be in himself. I don't remember what the words were that he used, but basically what he was saying, if I were to, the impression that I got energetically of what he was saying is that when he's by himself, he can maintain his inner balance, emotionally and energetically. But when he engages someone in a tango embrace, he's feeling their energy, and he can't feel how to maintain his own inner alignment and inner connection while he's so deeply aware and experiencing that other person's energy and their movement and their expressions and all of that. And I was like, oh, and he said, and this has been going on for 30 years. And I was like, that's what I help people with. And that's true. That's exactly what I help people with, because that's one lens of looking at what's so challenging about relationship, is that when we're by ourselves, I don't know, have you ever had the experience that you're really enjoying being with your partner, and then the evening is over? You don't live together in this scenario. The evening is over and you go home, or they leave, and you just go, ah. Have you ever felt that? I used to feel that all the time, even though I would love to be with my partner, or whatever, my boyfriend, whatever the right word was to describe the relationship experience, that particular one that I've had in the past. Even the guys in my life that I felt the most attached to, when I would depart their company, I would go, inside. And what that was stepping out of all the tension and the stress, the underlying tension and stress of trying to figure out how to navigate this situation of wanting to be loved, and trying to figure out from a subconscious program point of view, what do I have to do to be loved? And also at the same time trying to figure out how to be my natural self. And these two things are directly opposed to each other. So this is what I help people sort out in two different ways. On the one hand, how do you connect to yourself in a way that you can do it on the fly when you're with somebody else? So I give people practical exercises to embody themselves in a way that they can feel alignment and feel connected. But that's just the beginning, right? Because the other side of it is your subconscious. I have such a powerful, strong subconscious program for so many years, decades, that I wanted to fit in. I mean, this is very common. I wanted to fit in with the person that I love. I wanted to be what I thought he wanted me to be so that I could enjoy the sunshine of his loving attention. And I felt I needed that to prove my own self-worth. And of course, it never worked. And yet at the same time, I believed so much in authenticity. And I just wanted to be comfortable in my own skin and to experience love with another person. And, you know, it sounds simple, but it's so difficult. There are a lot of things that that get in the way. And so I really needed to know how to connect with myself. And then I needed to settle my subconscious patterns, because my subconscious was full, like everybody's is, was full of the things I thought I needed to do to be lovable. I mean, really, like the things, the contortions I thought I had to put myself through to be lovable. And the truth was, I just didn't know how to experience love inside myself. And I don't mean I didn't know how to love myself, because I knew how to love myself like we can do, like, I think Shauna's a great person. I used to say when I was a kid, I had a mirror that hung over my bed. So every night before I went to sleep, I would turn around and look in the mirror, because I was like, I don't think I love myself enough at like 7 years old, or however old I was at the time. So I decided as a practice that every night before I went to sleep, I would turn around and look in the mirror and say, I love you. And I did that for a long time. I think I did that probably for a year. And it helped at the self-image level. It helped at the thinking level. It helped at the, might have even helped at the subconscious level to some degree. But there's an issue that you just can't get to that way. Like fixing limiting beliefs by replacing them with another belief is not going to help you with this one thing I'm going to tell you about right now, which is that we humans are designed to partner with divine love in the center of our being. We are actually literally extensions of divine love, and we are created to function as extensions of divine love day in and day out. How do I know this? This is not just religious jargon or a nice thought, okay? I was uncomfortable in my skin for, I don't know, until 2017, which would be about 42 years of my life. I don't know my very early childhood, how I felt. I was probably comfortable in my own skin when I was a baby. But didn't take too long growing up, you know, before I got pretty uncomfortable in my own skin. I know it started in my single digits for sure. So I tried many things to try to figure out how to be comfortable in my own skin and to feel the depth of love that I believed was possible, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, right? I tried all kinds of, you know, meditation, new age thought, positive thinking. And I was, you know, I tried to be not controlling in relationship, to be super understanding, to be super communicative, but not pushing communication. I tried so many things, but none of it settled my feeling deep down inside that I am unlovable. And all of the, that's what was keeping my subconscious patterns in relationship going. Changing limiting beliefs didn't spare me of my subconscious patterns that would take. Oh, what does that look like? That looks like, okay, so the first date with somebody that I found interesting enough to go on a date with was always fun because I didn't give a beep about his attention. I was just enjoying myself out loud and exploring the adventure of wherever our conversation was taking us. But then we would go our separate ways, and then I would make a decision. Do I like this person enough to have a second date? Right? And then on the second date, I couldn't move freely in myself at all. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I was self-conscious. I was trying to figure out, not intentionally, but my subconscious was just doing this, trying to figure out what does he value and how do I have to look to him? Because now that I like him and I want his attention, now I got to figure out how am I going to appeal to him so that he continues to give me his attention. That's when I say my subconscious pattern, that's what I'm talking about. And that like plagued my whole relationship until the relationship was over. So that's the second date phenomenon, I call it. Have you experienced that before? Put second date in the comments if you've experienced that before. So I couldn't get out of this, no matter how much self-development I did of all different kinds and how much meditation I did of all different kinds. I couldn't get out of that. That would always come and take me over as of the second date through the whole relationship. And it was excruciating. It was really difficult to be myself, trying to be myself when I had this subconscious drive that I couldn't control and couldn't even see clearly, forcing me to try to dance to his tune, whatever his tune was. I'm guessing what his tune is, to try to get him to continue to like me and to like me even more. So what got me out of that was one thing, and that was finding how to connect with the energy of divine love in the core of my being. Why was that the one thing? Because when I did that, I actually felt the unlovable feeling in the core of my being go away. It was obliterated and replaced by this beautiful sunshine of love energy. And I felt like there was no question. When I felt that interconnection, there was no question about my self-worth. How could I be unlovable when I am made of love? That's what it feels like to connect with that energy. I am made of love. I'm a child of love. I am loved and I am made of love. And so in that place, when you could feel that energy, my subconscious program was completely unhinged during that interconnection, because that subconscious program was trying to fix the feeling of unlovableness that I had inside. And what I didn't understand until I learned how to do this was that the deepest root of that poor self-worth was actually that I wasn't connecting with divine love. When I did, everything fixed itself. So that's how I know that we're designed to be in partnership with divine love, because it's phenomenal, the difference between how our psychology is dysfunctional when we're not connected with divine love, and amazingly functional when we are connected with divine love. And it's like a switch. When you open that connection, you don't have to work on your self-worth anymore. Now, I'm not saying it's permanent, because the skill of maintaining that inner connection is something to work on. And the other thing is that that interconnection where you actually feel that love shining in your being, that is, it's a peak moment. It's not something that we maintain all the time, because right now I'm making a video. I'm talking with you. I don't have all of my attention available to connect that deeply inside, to feel that crazy, amazing sunshine from the interior shining through. So it's natural that we put our attention in different places. However, when we feel that interconnection, we can use that inner connection to rewrite the files in our subconscious, to let our subconscious know the way you've been looking at things is not accurate. But the subconscious doesn't speak a verbal language. It speaks a language of energy. So this is why we have to actually make that energetic connection. We can't just sit down and have an intellectual conversation with our subconscious and say, you know, those limiting beliefs that you have been hanging on to all this time? Well, let's replace it with better beliefs. Let's replace it with better beliefs, because I don't like the way you treat me, subconscious. I want you to treat me better. So I'm going to replace your limiting beliefs with better beliefs. That never works. I don't know if you know, there's a gentleman named David Goggins. He has an amazing story that he started out not in shape, feeling very depressed and very down on himself. He felt like a failure. And I guess he watched a TV program where he saw Navy SEALs doing some crazy like 3-day event where they don't sleep for 3 days and they do amazing physical feats. And it's like mind blowing. And so he saw this and he was like, he didn't like how much of a loser he felt like he was. So he decided he was going to go do that. So if I remember correctly, he tried out for Navy SEALs. I don't know. Can you try out for Navy SEALs? Anyway, whatever. He tried to get in and I think he failed the first time. So he worked out more and then he tried again and he got in and he got trained. And anyway, through whatever his journey was to become the superhuman fitness guy that he is now, he has like amazing physique. He's incredibly like sleek, like no fat on his body and super muscular. And he does these crazy physical challenges all the time of all different kinds of names. And I don't know all their names because I don't do those things. But, and then he became a motivational speaker and he shares his story of transformation. And that's great. And I'm glad that he can inspire people. But he shared something extremely telling in one of his videos. He said that, and when in the quiet, I don't remember exactly how he said it, right? So it's going to come through the filter the way I saw it. But in quiet moments, when he's not in the middle of some amazing feat, an accomplishment, like in the private moments in his bathroom, in his house, or wherever, when he's alone, that feeling of failure comes back. And then he thinks to himself about all the amazing physical accomplishments that he's done. And he talks himself up out of that depression. So the reason why that comes to haunt him again is because he still doesn't know how to connect with divine love in the core of his being. So underneath it all, he still feels, I am unlovable. It's not that he's unlovable in the core of his being. It's that he doesn't remember, no one taught him how to connect with the energy of love. So all the work he's done to reprogram his subconscious isn't actually a permanent solution. It's just like he's constantly fighting against the inertia or the momentum, however you want to say it, of his subconscious telling him that he's unlovable, because the subconscious speaks the language of energy. And energetically, in the core of his being, he doesn't know how to connect with the energy of divine love, which is how we are supposed to function. Because when we do, like I said, major shifts happen on the spot for that moment. And then we learn how to integrate it. So that's what I help people do. And when getting back to my dream and this guy who told me that he can't, that he struggles in relationship in his experience of tango because he can't feel himself and feel his partner at the same time. When we root ourselves, so the reason why that happens is because when we don't feel connected with divine love energy in the core of our being, we are running a subconscious program that's trying to figure out how to get connected with love. And we're projecting it through our eyes or our vision, our focus onto another person. So he can't be aligned in himself when he's connecting with another person because his subconscious is like, okay, now's our chance. We're going to be loved. We're going to be lovable. How do we do this? And starts dancing. And that's the noise that gets us gets us out of alignment in relationship. And it's great. It's great. And I'll tell you why it's great. It's great because when we're alone walking around and we're not feeling connected with divine love, we can be comfortable, and it's enough. When we get into a relationship, we find out that comfortable isn't cutting it, that we actually aren't as deeply moored inside ourselves as we thought we were. When we're by ourselves, how do you tell the difference between comfort and connection? If you're comfortable, it's good enough. But it's not good enough to manifest your full potential as a being of love and divine expression. You can't express the Christhood if you're not sporting a serious connection inside. But when we're not challenged, we don't know that we're falling short. So relationship is the most powerful path to manifesting our full divine nature, because when we try to get close to somebody else, our subconscious is going to reveal the beliefs that we have inside us still, that believe something other than I am love. So that's the size of it. But there's one more thing to connect. Well, when we root ourselves deeply in our inner alignment with divine love, which has a range of experience, not always that crazy sunshine, but when it's dialed back, when we are actually sporting that connection, it gives us such a clear feeling of alignment and feeling right in ourselves, and allows us to merge with somebody else energetically at the same time as we feel our inner alignment. But if we're not rooted in an interconnection with divine love, we can't do that. And so then we struggle in the me or other. What am I paying attention to now? If I'm going to pay attention to my partner, I'll lose myself. If I try to regain myself, now I don't know how to connect to my partner. Okay, so this was really fun to share with you. I hope you stayed with me. I've been blabbering here for longer than usual. I want to ask you a question because we're coming up on Valentine's Day. What goes wrong on Valentine's Day if you're in a relationship? Usually holidays, we have high hopes for them and then get disappointed. I mean, I think probably most couples have a fight on Valentine's Day. Or they have a fight the next day because of how Valentine's Day went. So I want to give you a preparatory talk to help you have a better Valentine's Day. So just give me a clue in the comments what goes wrong for you on Valentine's Day. And if you're not in a relationship right now, I hope you make a date with yourself on Valentine's Day to love yourself. Just do something to love yourself. All right. That's it for now. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.